Yeah, so next is from Wayne Grolfine. Subject is Tony Khan versus Wyatt and Meltzer. Recently, Tony Khan was doing an interview and he said that he never had any dealings with or plans to try and sign Bray Wyatt to AEW. Amazingly, the person who's called Tony out on this is Dave Meltzer himself. Meltzer said that Tony and Wyatt had numerous meetings, negotiations, and even agreed on a number, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. Why do you guys think that Tony Khan would lie about Bray Wyatt? Why do you think that Meltzer, quite a few times recently, calling Tony Khan out on his lies? P.S. Have you guys ever seen this photo? Bray Wyatt attended an AEW show as a fan, and the IWC story is that he thought the show sucked, and that's why he didn't want to join the company. You see this picture? No. I don't think that's him. That's somebody dressed like him. I don't know, but I mean, it's just, pull the picture up, Joe.
There it is right there.
Is that him, Joe, or no?
You think he's going to sit in the stands like as a fan?
I don't think that's him.
I don't think that's him either. So next is from I will say this. Dave is getting frustrated with Tony. Now, you've noticed Dave's tone about Tony has changed ever since he's not really getting a lot of information out of what happened with the Punk stuff.
Right.
And I think he's kind of frustrated at that there's, I don't know. Maybe if you talk to Dave, you can find out about that.
Let me say this. I never heard the story about Bray Wyatt, but anyways, I think that Meltzer I think he gets caught up in this anti-AEW fanboy narrative, and I'm sure he has friends there and maybe goes light on some stuff. But I have seen him bury AEW when he disagrees with them, so his portrayal is not accurate. But it's good fodder for the uninitiated troglodytes who just like to be toxic anything Meltzer or AEW. I think he does take them to task when they do things wrong.
Here's what Dave does. Okay, and this Dave still does this constantly. Right? He goes out there and is constantly championing the excuses for why the AEW number is not good in a week.
Right.
Like, because of this show was on and sports is on. He's constantly doing that. Like, this is the reason that the show did a bad rating.
Right.
It's like,
so
but it's never
covering for them. Right.
Covering for them in that sense, but never really saying, Dave, do you think maybe the quality of the show had something to do with it? It's like he never really talks about that. He just talks about all the other factors of why the rating isn't good, and like every excuse they would make. He's constantly doing that, right? But but I don't even know if he liked the show or not. That's the weird part about it, because we can sit there, we review these shows, and we'll say, Monday Night Football obviously probably had a thing here and stuff, but sometimes we're like, why is this the main event? You think but the perfect example was when they put Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta on the main event on that show, right? Bro, it lost like a considerable amount of viewers. And it's like, well, why would you put, if you didn't know that was going to happen, it's like it had nothing to do with what was on TV on the other channels. Those two guys are not main eventers. And people, you see the main event, is like, you're not watching. A lot of people change the channels, so... if you had main eventers in your main event, people would probably stay and watch the show, regardless, of who it was, just as long as they're main eventers. So I don't know.